Stefan Hartman here, Iron Direct Primary Care, bringing you a case study today. Raw milk fast obliterates LDL numbers and testosterone, a case study. Now, you all know I'm a huge fan of raw milk. I highly recommend reading the book, The Untold Story of Milk. You're going to learn a lot. But this is a very interesting case study. We have here a young male athlete who decided on his own to do a 21-day raw milk fast to see what would happen to his LDL cholesterol. Some of you know my stance on LDL. I don't think it's the big baddie that it's been made out to be, but we're going to see here, very interesting, how you can manipulate LDL numbers quite easily. So here are the initial numbers that we had. We had an LDL particle number of 1,863, and this dropped to 1,282. So quite a significant drop, a dramatic drop actually, more so than we could expect if we put this guy on a statin type drug. The second, the LDL-C, this is a standard one. You ask any old family doctor, he'll order this one. This guy had a LDL-C of 182. All right, so a lot of cardiologists would be kind of concerned about this, but we dropped it to 129 with this raw milk fast. What else happened here? Well, quite interesting, his HDL-C, so the supposedly good cholesterol, right? It went from 69, so I would consider that actually a bit better. It went down to 55. It's kind of the opposite of an intended effect, right? Triglycerides, they stayed relatively the same. Significant drop in the cholesterol total, right? He had previously a higher cholesterol total, and it dropped to 193. Now, mind you, this is a guy who follows a mostly animal-based diet, high-intensity training, pretty healthy for the most part. So I think very low cardiovascular risk in general. His HDLP total came up a little bit. Small LDL particle number, it came down. So again, if we think that small dense LDL sizes is a predictor of cardiovascular disease, we want a lower number of the small LDLs. Let's see, his LDL size, actually how big the LDL particles are, actually didn't change very much at all. Very interesting here, his insulin resistance score worsened. So we would assume a fit young guy like this, he would have a low insulin score, insulin resistance score, which we did find initially, right? It was 25. After a raw milk fast, it worsened to 42. Now, why would that just be? Well, there's a whole lot of sugar in raw milk, or any milk in general. If you're drinking basically pure sugar for 21 days, there's probably going to be some worsening of your insulin sensitivity. Although milk is highly anabolic, it releases growth hormone. That's why I like to take it at night. I drink it at night. Helps with growth hormone release. Maybe just drinking a raw milk fast isn't ideal for improving your insulin sensitivity. Testosterone and ApoB. We also measured the ApoB because many people think this is more predictive of cardiovascular disease. I don't think so at all. ApoB is just a marker of transport of LDL cholesterol. So we can see obviously someone who has a higher LDL particle number, as we saw previously, they're going to have a higher LDL, well, ApoB lipoprotein, 123, just as we suspected. Now it dropped with the raw milk fast to 94, right? Again, this is perhaps even stronger than what we would expect with doing a statin type treatment. Now, very interesting what happened to the testosterone. So this guy had a total testosterone of 626, not bad. Kind of a low free testosterone though. I was kind of shocked by this when I initially saw this on him. It got even worse with the raw milk fast. So his total testosterone dropped by about 200 points, and his free testosterone dropped by 2 points. So not what he was hoping to see on this. No guy likes to see his testosterone go lower. So so he learned that. I think everybody should follow lab markers if you're doing a fast, any sort of diet. Monitor the labs, right? You read about stuff on the internet. You read about the wonders of raw milk fast, how it can heal all sorts of diseases, and I'm pretty sure it does, right? But monitor some parameters and make sure things are going the way you'd hope them to be going. Obviously, you listen how your body responds. Some people will do raw milk fasts, to try to cure certain diseases. And I'm going to read more about this in this book here, The Untold Story of Milk. There's a couple clinicians who were doing this back in the 1900s, curing people of certain diseases with raw milk fasts. It's very fascinating to learn about this. And we see we did cure or improve one disease here. We improved, right, lipids, cholesterol, right? The big bad cholesterol. We improved that. But what did we do in the process? We worsened testosterone, right? We caused hypogonadism. And we also caused insulin resistance, right? So we always need to consider that when we're doing any sort of therapeutic, right? Are we treating just one thing and causing two unintended consequences or more? I see this very commonly when we chase cholesterol. That's why I'm not a huge fan of chasing cholesterol. Oftentimes when we end up chasing cholesterol, we end up causing downstream harmful effects, right? Statin therapy, you don't want to get me started on that one. You can watch my other videos on that one. Or vegan diets, that's another one. Don't get me started on that. You can watch my videos on that. These are all modalities focused on improving cholesterol markers. And as we see, in my practice at least, is chasing cholesterol and trying to treat cholesterol often has unintended negative effects. I hope you all like this case series. Let me know if you'd like me to do more of these. At Iron DPC, we have very intelligent patients who are biohackers, who are reading this sort of stuff, and they want to test it out. They want to try something. I'm like, let's go ahead. Let's do it. Let's follow the markers. Let's see how you feel. Let's report it so people can learn. Hope you all enjoyed this. See you all next time.